Have you noticed that almost everyone around you nowadays has some kind of health issue? I have friends diagnosed with cancer at just 35 years old. Friends who can't get pregnant because of endometriosis. Friends with Hashimoto's, depression, chronic fatigue, despite all their test results being normal. These aren't isolated cases. This is the new normal. It's an epidemic no one is talking about openly. But what's most alarming is something else: cancer in young people. Among women aged 20 to 44, the cancer rate has already exceeded 100 cases per 100,000, and it continues to rise. Across Europe, doctors are seeing a sharp increase in colorectal cancer among people under 50. In Italy, the United Kingdom, Poland, Germany, and the United States. This isn't a coincidence. It's a pattern that's repeating itself everywhere. Autoimmune diseases, Hashimoto's, lupus, celiac disease, rheumatoid arthritis. They're growing at a rate the medical world has never seen before. In recent decades, their numbers have nearly doubled. The biggest increase? Among teenagers. Today, 1 in 10 people worldwide has at least one autoimmune disease. And on top of that, depression, anxiety, insomnia, chronic fatigue. Conditions that are no longer the exception. They've become the new normal. This isn't about weakness, and it's not an accident. It's a signal that something deep within our health system and way of life isn't right. And that's exactly what this film is about. Today, I'll take you on a journey that could completely change the way you understand health and illness. I'll show you one scientifically proven mechanism that's driving the epidemic of chronic diseases: the enterohepatic circulation, where toxins don't leave the body but instead cycle back from the gut into the bloodstream. They accumulate over time, creating what we call low-grade toxicity. In this video, I'll show you where these toxins come from and how they enter your body, why they stay in circulation, and how to break the cycle with a simple protocol. You'll also get an exposure reduction checklist, practical steps you can start taking today. And finally, I'll explain why farm animals are constantly protected from this, while we are not. Yet among humans, almost no one talks about it. And I'll show you what that means for you. My name is Paul Nazaruk, and I'm the creator of the Awaken Health channel. For years, I struggled with health issues that no doctor could explain. From brain fog to relentless allergies to breathing difficulties, I dealt with it all. I began studying Chinese medicine and naturopathy to solve my own problems. For 5 years, no one truly knew what was going on. Eventually, I discovered a hidden pathogen in my lungs and sinuses mold that was breaking down my body from the inside. During that time, I tried countless medical consultations, therapies, herbs, and supplements. I learned a great deal. And today, I share that knowledge so others can return to health more quickly, using natural methods. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about which parts of everything I've learned are truly the most essential, the things worth passing on to others. What can truly change someone's life? What could save someone from years of unnecessary suffering? And I came to the conclusion that the liver-gut axis and circulating toxins are among the most important factors. Things people absolutely need to know. Why is this so critical? Because it explains that one hidden mechanism that could be responsible for dozens of different health problems. Alright, but let's start from the beginning. What is this mechanism that's so dangerous and shows up in the human body? Let's begin with how the detoxification process is supposed to work in the body under normal conditions. Toxins enter the bloodstream not just through food and water, but also through the lungs, through the skin from cosmetics and pesticides, from active infections, and from the breakdown of pathogens, releasing endotoxins, from leaky gut, and also from the mobilization of toxins stored in fat tissue, during fasting, stress, or intense physical effort. Second, toxins from the bloodstream make their way to the liver. The liver neutralizes and transforms them, then releases them into bile. From there, they move into the intestines. Third, the toxins should be eliminated through the stool. End of story. But that's not what actually happens. Why? Because toxins are small and often fat-soluble, so they pass through the intestinal wall. Especially when the gut lining is compromised or overloaded, they're reabsorbed through the intestinal wall. They re-enter the bloodstream and return to the liver, which has to process them all over again. The result? Toxins start to circulate endlessly, never fully leaving the body. Over time, this leads to chronic overload of the detox systems and disrupts both metabolic and immune processes. It lowers organ performance and eventually leads to damage. The liver loses its ability to neutralize toxins. The kidneys become less effective at filtering. The nervous system grows hypersensitive, and the immune system becomes confused. Instead of responding to pathogens, it starts attacking the body's own tissues, or stops responding altogether. This paves the way for chronic infections and inflammation. Low-level toxicity is a silent, long-term process. It doesn't kill immediately, but slowly breaks down immunity, mitochondria, the kidneys, the liver, and the brain. And the shocking part of this story? It's the mechanism that keeps toxins trapped in the body, unable to leave. It was discovered and described back in the 1980s. In 1989, at the University of Ottawa in Canada, Dr. Kuiper Goodman published a groundbreaking study. It showed that ochratoxin A, one of the most dangerous mycotoxins, is secreted by the liver into bile. In the intestines, it's reabsorbed at a rate of 60 to 80%. Instead of leaving the body, it returns to the liver. Its half-life extends from 24 hours to 840 hours. That's 35 days. In 1990, at the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm, Dr. Eriksson confirmed a similar mechanism for aflatoxins, the most carcinogenic natural substances known. Without binding substances, known as binders, aflatoxins stay in the body 10 to 15 times longer. They circulate endlessly between the liver and the intestines. They accumulate, causing chronic poisoning. In 2013, in Kansas City, USA, Dr. Brewer showed that 93% of patients with chronic fatigue had detectable levels of mycotoxins in their urine. The use of binders interrupted that cycle. 78% of patients showed significant improvement after following the binder protocol. For over 30 years, scientists have known that toxins like mycotoxins, heavy metals, and hormones can circulate within the body through the enterohepatic circulation mechanism. Without binding substances, these toxins can't leave the body. They can linger for years. This process can be stopped by using binding substances. Why does no one talk about this? That's a question we should all be asking ourselves. Doctors are not trained in the field of mycotoxins. In medical school, the topic of toxins is hardly addressed at all. Enterohepatic circulation is discussed only in the context of medications. No one teaches doctors about binders. The medical system focuses on drugs, not the root causes. Symptom-based drugs are profitable for the pharmaceutical industry because they allow for long-term treatment. Natural binders can't be patented. There's no money in telling people the truth. There's a lack of awareness in society. The media don't talk about this topic. People don't even know this exists. If you mention it, you're treated like a conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, millions of people are suffering, unaware that their problems might be caused by toxins that have been hiding in their bodies for years. Now, the second part of this shocking, and at the same time heartbreaking, truth. Very few people know what you're about to hear. And it's information that everyone should know. It should be front-page news. Our food is contaminated on a much larger scale than you think. And this isn't a conspiracy theory. It's a legal, easily verifiable fact, because this data is public and readily available. All around the world, there are legal limits for cancer-causing toxins in food. What does that mean? That food containing detectable levels of cancer-causing substances can be legally sold and consumed. Examples of European Union limits: aflatoxins, which belong to the group of mycotoxins. Toxins produced by molds. These are highly carcinogenic. The total amount of these toxins in nuts, almonds, and pistachios is between 4 and 15 micrograms per kilogram. Aflatoxin B1 in cereal products is allowed at levels between 2 and 12 micrograms per kilogram. For infants, the limit is 0.10 micrograms per kilogram. Not zero, but still a detectable amount of a carcinogenic substance. Ochratoxin A, carcinogenic, nephrotoxic, and neurotoxic, with different limits set for grains, coffee, wine, and beer. For infants, the limit is 0.50 micrograms per kilogram. Interestingly, studies from around the world show that there's no such thing as a truly safe limit. Even the smallest amount of these toxins is dangerous to your health. Worst of all, current regulations don't require every batch of food to be tested before it hits the market. That means a large portion of the food being sold could significantly exceed safety limits, and we wouldn't even know it. How contaminated is the food we eat? Testing is done randomly, not systematically. Most food is never checked for mycotoxins. The scale of the problem is truly alarming. According to the FAO, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, around 25% of the world's grain supply is contaminated. More recent studies suggest that between 60 and 80% of samples contain detectable levels. And mycotoxins are just one of many categories of toxins found in food. Heavy metals like lead, mercury, cadmium, and arsenic, pesticides and herbicides, glyphosate, and hundreds of others. Bacterial endotoxins, microplastics, industrial chemicals. We live in a world where ordinary food is contaminated. There's an epidemic of health problems, and it's only getting worse. You might be wondering how I first learned about the scale of food contamination. It was by chance. In mid-2025, I had the chance to spend some time in China, studying traditional Chinese medicine and their approach to healthcare. What I discovered shook me to my core. In China, it is common to add binders to livestock feed, directly into the digestive tract. It's standard practice. In feed for pigs, chickens, and cows, they add binders substances that bind mycotoxins, heavy metals, and other toxins, before those toxins can be absorbed by the animal's body. Why? Because selling contaminated food is legal, not just in China, but in Europe too. However, the contamination limits for animal feed are much higher. Grains used in animal feed are often contaminated with mold and mycotoxins. The Chinese know that without binders, animals will get sick, grow more slowly, and lose value. It's not philanthropy. It's economic pragmatism. Livestock is a business. Sick animals mean financial losses. So the industry protects them from toxins. As I later found out, binders are also given to livestock in Europe. However, not on the same scale, since the contamination limits here are slightly lower, and that didn't lead to any obvious, visible diseases in the animals. That was shocking to me. If we know that selling contaminated food is allowed, then why aren't binders given to people? The answer is simple and terrifying. In an economic system where profits from farming are the priority, protecting animals was seen as necessary. But people? We're not protected at all. Why? Because in the current economic system, profits come from you being sick, and not from you being healthy. Your health is no one's priority, but your illness absolutely is. Don't just take my word for it. Look up studies yourself on food contamination with mycotoxins in your country. But be warned, you might be shocked by what you find. Most of this information isn't even hidden, it's public. In the description of this video, I've also included links to several studies. Alright, if the scale of the problem has sunk in for you, then here's the question. How can you finally break free from the vicious cycle and let your body truly detox? The simplest and cheapest solution is binders, also known as absorbents. Substances that have the ability to capture toxins. They work in the digestive tract, preventing toxins from being reabsorbed. This is key to breaking the enterohepatic recirculation cycle. Imagine binders as magnetic sponges inside your gut. When the liver releases toxins into the bile, binders latch onto them before they can be reabsorbed. They form stable complexes that can't be broken down by digestive enzymes. They safely transport toxins through the intestines and out of the body. breaking the enterohepatic cycle once and for all. The most effective binder is activated charcoal, used by humans for over 2,000 years. It binds a wide range of toxins, including mycotoxins, heavy metals, and bacterial byproducts. It's especially effective in cases of multi-factor poisoning, like mold combined with metals and endotoxins. Dosage: 1 to 2 grams on an empty stomach, at least 2 hours after meals and supplements. It is said that 2,000 years ago, Emperor Huangdi, the father of Chinese medicine, personally tested hundreds of herbs, searching for their nature and effects. One day, after trying an unknown plant, he was severely poisoned. Fever, heart palpitations, and loss of consciousness. The royal physicians were helpless. Lying by the fire, he heard an inner voice, his intuition telling him to reach for the black powder. With his last strength, he took some charcoal, mixed it with water, and drank it. According to the legend, within an hour the fever subsided, his breathing calmed, and the emperor rose, as if he had returned from the edge of death. It was then he understood that the earth, in its simplest form, charcoal, can bind toxins and save lives. This experience became the origin of using substances that absorb toxins. Another group of binders you should know about are bentonite clays, which contain montmorillonite, a mineral with powerful adsorptive properties. It binds aflatoxins, heavy metals, and pesticides. They also help mechanically cleanse the intestines and improve stool consistency. It's best to take them with plenty of water and keep a safe interval from any medications. Next is chlorella, a microalga with strong chelating and regenerative properties. It binds heavy metals, mercury, lead, cadmium, as well as certain mycotoxins. Additionally, it nourishes the body with chlorophyll, minerals, and B vitamins. Caution: if the dose is too high, it may trigger a Herxheimer reaction, a rapid release of toxins. Next is cholestyramine. It binds to bile acids and mycotoxins, effectively interrupting their enterohepatic circulation. It requires a doctor's prescription and careful adherence to timing between other medications. It's used in the brewer and shoemaker protocols for mold exposure. Next is zeolite, a natural volcanic mineral with a porous sponge-like structure. It binds heavy metals, ammonia, pesticides, and certain mycotoxins. It helps alkalize the body and improves mental clarity. The best form is clinoptilolite, with high purity and particle size under 10 microns. Next are humic and fulvic acids, organic compounds derived from plants. They can bind a wide range of toxins, including heavy metals, pesticides, pharmaceutical residues, and mycotoxins. They support the regeneration of the gut lining and have anti-inflammatory effects. Humic acids often work synergistically with clays and chlorella. Its critical binders must be taken at least 2 hours away from meals, supplements, and medications. Why? Because binders can't tell the difference between toxins and vitamins. They can bind to everything. Improper timing can lead to vitamin and mineral deficiencies and reduce the effectiveness of medications. It can block the absorption of essential nutrients. The optimal schedule: 3 p.m., the last supplements of the day; 5 p.m., binder 2 hours after supplements; 7 p.m., dinner 2 hours after the binder. During detox with binders, staying hydrated becomes absolutely critical. Insufficient hydration can reduce the effectiveness of the process by up to 80%, as observed in clinical practice by some doctors specializing in mycotoxin therapy. The minimum requirement is 3 liters of high-quality water per day, around 100 ounces of fluids. Drink in small sips, about 50 to 100 milliliters every 10 to 15 minutes, instead of large amounts all at once. Add a pinch of sea salt to each bottle for better cellular hydration. Here's a practical tip. In the morning, prepare 2 1.5-liter bottles, or 4 750 milliliter bottles filled with high-quality water, and a pinch of salt. That's your daily supply. Important note: coffee, black tea, matcha, and yerba mate have a dehydrating effect. For every 250 milliliters of these drinks, add an extra 250 milliliters of water to your daily intake. In traditional Chinese medicine, The concept of hidden toxins in the body has been known for thousands of years, though described in a different language. TCM doctors identified a condition called shidu, damp toxins. These are toxins that accumulate and stagnate in the body, blocking the flow of qi. They create thick moisture that the body struggles to eliminate. For years, I struggled with mysterious symptoms that no doctor could explain. The key discovery was that even when I started treating the fungi, the symptoms got worse. As the fungus was broken down, it released more toxins, and my body couldn't eliminate them. It wasn't until I understood the mechanism of the liver-gut recycling loop that everything started to make sense. No wonder I couldn't get better. The toxins were constantly hiding in my body, triggering allergies and other strange health problems. What made the difference in my case? Consistent use of binders, the full range. A dramatic increase in hydration, up to 3 and often even 4 liters per day. Supporting the liver and detox processes with herbs and glutathione, healing the gut, eliminating mold from my environment. The result? After many months on a consistent protocol, my energy started coming back. The brain fog lifted and the allergies began to disappear. If you suspect low-level toxicity in your body, here's a clear action plan. Phase 1. Assessment and preparation. Identify the source. Check your home for mold, especially in bathrooms and basements. Review your diet and eliminate high-risk foods like nuts, corn, and coffee. Buy from trusted sources. Choose products that are tested for mycotoxins. Ozonate your food. Ozone is your powerful ally. I recorded a separate video on this. Eliminate anything unnatural. Phase 2. Preparing the body. Increase your hydration to at least 3 liters per day. Introduce liver-supporting foods like milk thistle and artichoke. Phase 3. Introducing binders for 4 to 6 weeks. Start your binder protocol with activated charcoal. 1 gram in the evening on an empty stomach. After 1 week, increase to 2 grams. Take it at least 2 hours after your last meal or supplement. Gradually introduce other binders and experiment safely. Don't overuse them. Binders can lead to constipation. Start with smaller doses and monitor your symptoms. Only increase the dose once you're tolerating it well. Phase 4. Monitoring and optimization, lasting 2 to 3 months. Track your symptoms and keep a wellness journal. Note any changes in energy, focus, and digestion. If your body tolerates binders well, do a 1-month course of glutathione. Glutathione will trigger the release of toxins from deeper layers, which the binders can then capture in the gut. Possible detox reactions may occur. During the first few days, symptoms might temporarily worsen. During the 2nd to 3rd week, you may notice a gradual increase in energy. Between the 2nd and 3rd month, noticeable improvements in overall well-being. You may experience a temporary dip in well-being after taking glutathione. Symptoms may include headaches, fatigue, nausea, rashes, or joint pain. To manage this, increase hydration, lower the binder dosage, and slow down the process. Constipation? The solution: drink more water, increase fiber, and take 300 to 400 mg of magnesium in the evening. Nutrient deficiencies. If the timing of the binders is off, they can bind to vitamins and minerals as well. The solution: always keep a 2-hour gap between meals or supplements and binders. When should you seek help from a specialist? Symptoms keep getting worse after several weeks on the protocol. New and concerning symptoms begin to appear. No improvement at all after 2 months. Unfortunately, there are very few true toxin specialists. You need to educate yourself enough to judge whether a given practitioner truly understands the issue of toxin exposure. Without proper education, you could waste time and money on poorly qualified therapists. If you've made it this far, it means you truly care about your health, or about the health of someone you love. I want you to know one thing. What I've described in this video is not just theory. This isn't speculation. It's documented science, backed by dozens of studies. The medical system has failed us on this issue. Doctors are not trained in dealing with co-toxins. They're not taught about the enterohepatic circulation in the context of toxins. They're not taught about binders. Meanwhile, Millions of people are suffering. They have unexplained health problems. Their test results come back normal, even though they feel terrible. They're sent to a psychiatrist because it must all be in their head. But now, you know that toxins can hide in your body for years. You know that it can be stopped. You know how to do it. What will you do with that knowledge? You can choose to ignore it. You might think, it's too complicated. You can wait for the next round of medications, or you can take action. You can start with small steps. Get some activated charcoal. Increase your hydration. Introduce probiotics. Give your body a chance to recover. And you can pass that knowledge on to everyone you love and who is suffering. Because this knowledge can save lives. And if it saves even one life, if even one person regains their health because of this video, then it was all worth it. Especially now, when it's becoming less and less safe to talk about these things publicly. And it's my duty to include legal disclaimers like this. All content presented in this video is for informational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. It is not a substitute for consultation or treatment provided by a doctor or other qualified healthcare professional. If you want more information about natural methods of healing and detoxification, about how your body truly works, subscribe to the Awaken Health channel. In upcoming videos, I'll be sharing practical protocols that have worked for me and my friends. This is the kind of education you won't get in a doctor's office. Wishing you health and a life full of vitality. Take care.